Welcome to my Railfanning Roundup video for February 2023. In this month's episode, I'll mostly be sharing updates on Reading and Northern's equipment and operations, as well as my two favorite train catches of the month. Let's start with Norfolk Southern, though, with a quick visit to look at their Palmerton rail yard. There's not normally much to see here, but in early February, a long train of double-stacked intermodal cars was parked here for short-term storage. While these can be regularly seen on their main line, they are a rare sight along the Lehigh line. Here's a unique vantage point where you can see my favorite house in the area, the Marshall Mansion, up on the hill near Lehigh Gap. While waiting to start a mini chase of Reading and Northern's fast freight in Tamaqua, I found two pieces of maintenance-of-way equipment parked on the siding. This was an uncommon chance to see the orange tamper and yellow spreader up close. I wish I could tell you more about these, but I don't know a lot about how they work. And it was during that fast freight chase that I captured my second favorite shot of the month. I always loved this view from Church Road in hometown, looking across the field where an old truck is parked, but this is the first time I caught a freight train from this vantage point. Here's a quick look at some track work going on in Jim Thorpe. The 2 tracks closest to the street have been replaced, and a new diamond was ready to install. We'll return to this in a minute. But first is the reason I went to Jim Thorpe that day to begin with. Reading and Northern has been using a new operating procedure where their excursion train back to Reading departs at the same time that the 3 o'clock Lehigh Gorge train returns to the station. I believe these operational changes, along with the track work, are part of the accommodations for an additional train that will run on weekends and holidays from Pittston starting on Memorial Day weekend. And now we're seeing that just a week later, on February 19th, they have this diamond installed. So it looks like what they're going to do is take this branch and connect to these 2 tracks here. And then it looks like that other branch will go out to what I call the main line. That's the outer track that the Lehigh Gorge train usually runs on. And I'm not sure what else is going to be going on here, but it'll be fun to continue to check out the progress. And I have to imagine this is all in preparation for the trains that are going to be running from Pittston to Jim Thorpe every weekend starting on May 27th, 2023. That's been in the rumor mill for a long time now, and they just announced it and made it official a couple of days ago. So I will keep track of the tracks here in Jim Thorpe. Stay tuned. In mid-February, Reading and Northern put 2 newly restored cars into service. The first is this classic stainless steel dining car built by the Budd Company in 1947. All right, this one here is the number 1166, and we last saw this in action, I forget the exact date, sometime in November, when I chased the fall fling train from Port Clinton up to KME in Nesquehoning. Yeah, I keep calling it KME. It's Reading and Northern now. That's their new campus. And this one was in its original state when they did the run that day. And it has since been lettered and, well, I guess just lettered and numbered. It hasn't really been painted. But you can see they moved the 1166 from the middle of the car. They now have a number plate on either end. And what's really cool, it's in Cornell red, not the usual black or blue that they use. I suspect we are seeing a slow changeover to an all-red color scheme, which is pretty cool. That's my second favorite color after blue, so I like the dark reds. And you can see now in the middle, it's been lettered to say Reading and Northern. Interesting that they left out the Blue Mountain, which is okay by me. Reading and Northern's easier to say than Reading, Blue Mountain, and Northern. And they have named the car the North by Northwest. As I walk down to the other end, you can see they've got another number plate here. So it looks great. I love these old stainless steel cars. And here's a better look at the North by Northwest car with the new lettering. I think it looks fantastic. I really like that red. And here's a walkthrough of the North by Northwest during my ride 1 week later. The second newly restored car that entered service is Reading and Northern's third dome car, number 5, the Sky Top Explorer. Alright guys, now that the 11 o'clock Lehigh Gorge excursion train is back in the station, we are getting our first look at the just off the, I wouldn't say assembly line, refurbishment line, Sky Top Explorer Superdome. This is the third Reading and Northern dome car. And I was told that it was just put into service yesterday while I was out in Strasburg. They brought it up here on the Reading train, dropped it off in Jim Thorpe, and it's now in service here. Now, interestingly, I had to find out more about the history of this car. I know it was Milwaukee Road number 59, but all of the Milwaukee Road Superdomes, when they were new, had the smooth siding. Someone, sometime between there and here, put this stainless steel fluting down the side of it, so it looks a bit more like the Santa Fe big dome that's in front of it, but the red one, I assure you, is a former Milwaukee Road dome. And the number 6 Scenic View, which was Santa Fe number 50, I want to say 115, I'm going off memory here. That should be going into the paint department pretty soon, and that'll mean that all three of the domes will have the Cornell red finish with the gold lettering on them. So sometime soon, I don't know if I'm going to do it today or if I'm going to come back up tomorrow. I am going to take a ride in that dome to check it out because it's the only one I have not been in yet. But I gotta say, from the outside, it looks fantastic. And you guys know I enjoy riding in these dome cars. I still need to get back from my ride, but I appreciate Reading and Northern letting me take a quick peek inside. It has been a while since I've updated you on Reading and Northern's RDCs. I don't have a whole lot of new information on them, but I was able to see 5 of them in Port Clinton during my ride on February 18th. Hey, take a look, guys. We got one of the new RDCs getting ready to go into the shop, it looks like. It's the former Tennessee Valley, originally Baltimore and Ohio, number 20. Looks like they're doing some engine work on 3061. Number 9163 and number 9166 have had their trucks swapped and were behind the wheel true shop. Number 9167 and 9168 were likely there for spring maintenance, but number 9165 decided to be camera shy. And finally, here is my catch of the month. Not only is this my favorite rail fanning moment from February, but it just might be my favorite rail fanning moment ever. I had been going to Strasburg for what I thought was going to be a pretty ordinary day of just riding and rail fanning, and on the way, thanks to Colin from PA and Northeastern Railfan, I found out I had a rare chance to see a steam locomotive pulling a freight train, and even more surprising to me, once I got there, was to find out it was a doubleheader. February turned out to be quite an exciting month for rail fanning in my area, and we've got even more great times coming once the spring weather arrives. I'll be bringing you as much of that action as possible, but for now I want to end by saying, thanks for watching, and I'll see you down the tracks.